had so many folks in Granby who said, I just had no idea that there was a Democratic Town Committee that was actually working towards good, that was actually progressive and was a presence in town. The last meeting we had, we packed the library. There were no seats left. We had to keep bringing chairs in.
I'm Reverend Julie Olmsted. I'm a United Church of Christ minister. I'm very concerned about what's happening in our country, extremely concerned, and I feel like it's the thing to do, to come out and make your voice heard. And we have power together. People have power. We don't know what the result of our efforts will be, but I have faith, and we got to do this.
I'm Stephanie, and I'm a psychotherapist, and my specialty is actually working with trauma survivors. So I do EMDR, and I'm also a very religious Unitarian Universalist. I happened to kind of drive by them on my way home, and I saw this, and I saw the friendly signs, and so here I am.
Hi, I'm Susie Knightley. I'm the chair of the Granby Democratic Town Committee. We're standing out here on May Day to make it clear that we'd like to see change, that we're very unhappy with what's happening. We have veterans in town who are losing their benefits. We have folks who have parents who are in nursing homes, who are dependent on Medicare. Medicare dollars we know are going to be cut. That affects our schools, special ed, training for teachers, special education. We know that the Meals on Wheels is at risk. We have a lot of folks in Granby and local towns who are dependent on Meals on Wheels. So as a committee, we're just trying to address things locally and let it be known that we're here, and we're here for you, we're here with you in solidarity, and we'd like to see that you don't feel alone, that you feel like there are other like-minded people who are concerned about the direction this administration is taking this country.
I'm Matthew. I've been interested in disability issues for quite a while and try to bring it up wherever I can because it's an issue that is often forgotten and swept under the rug. And I think with this new administration, almost the first thing that happened was when their planes crashed into the Potomac, Trump got up there and he was blaming the crash on the supposedly disabled people in the air traffic controllers' positions. He was just making that up, but it showed where he was coming from. And he's got a long history of trashing people with disabilities and mocking them.
What we've noticed with this standout, our second standout, April 5th was another standout with a few hundred people here, is that so many independents came up to me and said, you know, I really didn't know that there were people who thought like I did in town. We have a lot of signs in town that might indicate otherwise. I think that people felt less alone. I think people really felt that there were others who were concerned about the cuts that they're seeing and about the inhumanity. I mean, it's hard to sort of turn on your news at night and see what's happening to fellow Americans and to immigrants who are legally here, who are trying to make a better life for their families. I think all of us are very concerned about sort of man's inhumanity to man at this point.
And then just recently, RFK Jr.'s remarks about autism were absolutely chilling, saying that a human being was not really a human being or useless, or whatever he said. Really just the kind of thing that people spoke about back in the early eugenics movement and what the Nazis did in Germany, making people into non-people because of their disabilities. So I feel very strongly about that. And it's not just what they say, it's also what they do. For instance, shutting down the Department of Education. That's impacting the rights of students and children with disabilities in the schools to have special education and to have access to the accommodations they need to perform well in school with their disabilities, whatever they may be.
Can you hear the honking? We get waves and honks, and that's very encouraging. And I think if people keep this up on a regular basis, you're only going to see the crowd swell. You're only going to see more people standing up for a country that is good again. Not great, but good, that behaves and has compassion and that cares about people and that doesn't make people richer and richer on the backs of regular folks. That is what concerns me most. Plus the loss of freedom and grabbing people off the street. So many terrible, terrible things are happening. So I really encourage people to seek out ways to speak up and to make their voices heard.
And that's the thing that we noticed on April 5th. In the pouring rain, no matter where people were from, and we had so many folks in Granby who said, I just had no idea that there was a Democratic Town Committee that was actually working towards good, that was actually progressive and was a presence in town. The last meeting we had, we packed the library. There were no seats left. We had to keep bringing chairs in, and the membership grew. And the reason that's important is because then we had people who stepped up to run for office. It's a lot of work to run this town. And so we have wonderful folks like Mark Bale, who's going to run for Select Board, Dan Gerstenfeld, who's a veteran and a mental health professional, is running for the Board of Health. We have George Balke, who wants to come back. He's a write-in to come back onto the school board. A brilliant woman, Elizabeth LaFond, who is on the school board now, is running with an opponent who has a brilliant arm-length resume. We're so lucky to have her here. And then Trevor Agostino, who's also running for the one-year seat. He'll be a write-in as well. So it's that. And then we have a few people who are running for library trustees as well. So it's just nice to see that we have people who are concerned, and some of those people came out of that April 5th standout and said, I want to step up, I want to do something.
Make phone calls, join with a group. That we are part of a group called the Friday Action Group. And during the run-up to the election, we had a meeting every Friday morning, and they have one every Friday or Wednesday evening. They did, and now it's just the second Wednesday and Friday of the month. Friday Action Group. You can find that online. There's a lot of ways to get involved.
Absolutely. And the USNF in Northampton has a democracy action team. You can get involved with them. There's letter writing campaigns. There's letters to the editors going out all the time.
5 people have come up to me in the past 15 minutes to say, I live around the corner. I live in town down the street. How can I help? What can I do? It's nice to see. You feel less alone.
Don't isolate. Don't give up. Be a part of something.